I would say 80 to 90% of the people that sat in front of me, when I asked them why they were unable to lose weight, it was because of... Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on Jordan Shrinks' video, 5 things I stopped doing to finally lose weight. But before I start, you guys know the drill. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, ding ding ding. And if you want to watch the entire video, I will be including timestamps in the description section so you guys can skip ahead to the section that you want. Now, today I was going through my YouTube feed and I saw a new video from a YouTuber named Jordan Shrinks, and the title of that video was 5 things I stopped doing to finally lose weight. For those of you who don't know, Jordan Shrinks is a YouTuber who lost a ton of weight. Not literally, but she did lose quite a bit of weight. She started her journey at over 300 pounds, and over the course of her weight loss journey lost over 140 pounds, which is a huge accomplishment. And today she ended up releasing this video, and I decided to watch it and give you my take on those 5 things that she did and let you guys know. Are they good advice, or is it just more YouTube nonsense? Well, what exactly are the 5 things that Jordan did? Well, I'll let her tell you.
The first thing I stopped doing, and this one is gonna surprise no one, and that is I stopped making excuses.
This is a terrific piece of advice, and as someone who has been coaching people professionally for over 16 years, I have heard every excuse in the book. I haven't really been given too many excuses over the last 5 years because the last 5 to 10 years, my clientele has been mostly referral based, but when I was working in big box gyms earlier on in my career, because they weren't clients of mine and it was just gym members coming in for an assessment, and the assessment wasn't something that they wanted, it was something that they had to do in order to start using the gym, every single time I had to sit down with one of these people, every excuse possible was uttered out of their mouth. The most common excuses were going to be time and money. I would say 80 to 90% of the people that sat in front of me, when I asked them why they were unable to lose weight, it was because of time and money. That's what most of them would tell me. And really that's an invalid excuse, and I will tell you exactly why right now. If you are using time as an excuse, it's either one of 2 reasons. 1, you think you need to be in the gym for 3 hours, or 2, you are working 20 hours a day and you literally don't have the time. However, you don't need to work out for 3 hours a day, and most people do not work 20 hours a day. Most people, they'll work 8 hours a day, and the rest of the time is spent doing other things. So if you are using time as an excuse, is it really that your time is limited, or is it that you would rather reallocate your time to other things instead of working out? Because that's really what it comes down to. Most people, when they say they don't have the time, what they really mean is I would rather spend the time doing other things. Is it that you don't have the time to work out, or is it that you would rather spend your time watching Dr. Phil or The Price is Right? Because unless you're working double shifts every single day for the rest of your life, time is not going to be that restricted. You can get a good workout in just 20 minutes. So you may not have time to do a 3-hour workout. I know I don't have time to do a 3-hour workout, but you definitely have time to do at least a 20-minute workout. 20 minutes is only 1.4% of your entire day. So if you can't allocate 1.4% of your entire day to doing something that is going to benefit you if it is your goal to lose weight, then you really don't have an excuse, because as long as you have 20 minutes a day, that is all the time you really need in order to help you lose weight. Another excuse that I would hear all the time is money. It's that I don't have money to go to the gym, I don't have money for a gym membership, I don't have money to hire a trainer, and these are all invalid excuses as well, because you don't need money to get in shape. All you need is your own body. You don't need any fancy gym equipment. As long as you have your own body and you know how to properly use your body, then you can create a custom routine with your own body weight and get really good results from that. You don't need thousands of dollars of gym equipment. Let's say you're somebody who uses time and money as an excuse, and really when you're home, you end up watching a lot of TV. Well, what you can do is during the time you're spending watching TV, you can incorporate exercise during that time. So let's say you're watching The Price is Right or Dr. Phil. Well, you can do squats while you're watching it, you can do lunges, you can do push-ups. There are plenty of exercises you can do while you are watching TV, and none of them require any money whatsoever. Your body is free. Squats are free, lunges are free, push-ups are free. There are tons of free exercises that you can do, and if you really want to get in shape, you will find a way to get in shape. Another excuse that I heard quite often was that I'm too tired to work out. And this excuse is actually a funny excuse because it's kind of a catch-22. A lot of the reason why most people are tired and they don't want to work out is because they don't have the energy to work out. And if you work out, you are going to give your body more energy. Now, in the very beginning, when you first start training, you might feel a little bit more tired, but as you start to get better and better with your training, you are going to have more energy. So if your excuse for not losing weight or not going to the gym or whatever your goal is that you are too tired, just know that the more you invest into your body and into your exercise program, the more energy you are going to have. So if you are not working out because you are too tired, once you start working out, that will go away because you will have more energy. Another excuse, this one I hear a lot, and it's another invalid excuse, and it is that the reason you cannot work out or lose weight is because of your kids. I hear this from potential clients, I hear this from my friends, and the reason it's an invalid excuse is because you are not the only person with kids. There are plenty of people that have kids that are able to get to the gym and work out. And even if you are unable to leave your kids to go to the gym to work out, you can still work out with your kids. Let's say you are using your kids as an excuse for why you are not able to lose weight. Well, you can take your kids for a walk. You can play soccer with your kids. You can take your kids to a rock climbing wall and go rock climbing. There are plenty of ways that you can incorporate your children into your exercise program so that they are active participants in your journey. And the other thing with regard to using your kids as an excuse, let's say you are somebody who is morbidly obese, you're 500-600 pounds, and you're saying you can't work out because you have kids. Well, if you are 500-600 pounds, working out and losing weight for the sake of your kids is going to be beneficial because it's going to set a really good example for your children. So if you do have kids and you are morbidly obese and you would like to lose weight, not only would it be beneficial to incorporate your kids because it will motivate them in the future, but it will also set a good example for them and give them reasons for why they should maintain their health as well when they get older. So when they get older, they don't end up becoming 500-600 pounds and have all of these different health issues. Another excuse that I hear all the time is with regard to my partner. My partner, I can't work out because they don't want to come to the gym with me, or I can't lose weight because my partner doesn't like to eat healthy. That's another invalid excuse. If your partner does not want to go to the gym with you, you can still go by yourself, you can go with a friend. There are plenty of ways that you can find a way to lose weight that does not involve bringing your partner along with you. And if you have an issue because your partner does not like eating healthy, there are plenty of ways that you can incorporate healthy foods into your lifestyle. And I'm sure that if you were to come down with a list, you would be able to find something healthy that both of you can enjoy. And even if there isn't something that both of you can enjoy, you guys can eat different diets. Just because one person is eating unhealthy, it does not mean that you too have to also follow an unhealthy diet. Just because your partner is eating potato chips, it doesn't mean that you can't have a steak and a salad. You can eat independent things from one another. You don't have to follow the exact same diet. Which brings us to another excuse that I often hear, and it is that I don't know how to cook healthy. Well, guess what? Before everybody learned how to cook, nobody knew how to cook healthy. You have to learn how to cook before you can learn how to cook healthy. So if your excuse for why you can't lose weight is that you can't cook healthy, learn how to cook. You could buy a cookbook, you could watch the Food Network, you could go on YouTube, watch Gordon Ramsay. There are plenty of ways that you can overcome this obstacle. It is not set in stone that you are going to be a terrible cook for the rest of your life. If you have the ability to learn, then you have the ability to learn how to cook. So you cannot use the inability to learn how to cook as an excuse for why you cannot lose weight. And another excuse that I hear all the time is that I don't know what to do. And this is going to bring us to the second thing that Jordan did, which is...
The second thing I stopped doing, and this one's pretty loosely connected to the first one, so if there's a little overlap here, I apologize. But the second thing I stopped doing was playing ignorant.
The second point of stop playing ignorant really does play into the first point of stop making excuses, because one of the excuses that I hear all the time is that I don't know how to train or I don't know how to cook, and that is just another excuse. Now, when it comes to understanding how to train and understanding what is healthy, yes, it is going to be difficult if it's not something that is part of your lifestyle already or something that you haven't studied, but there is a lot of ways that you can determine how should you exercise properly, how should you eat properly. There are plenty of ways that you can determine all of that, and if you want to lose weight bad enough, then you will figure out how to train properly and how to cook properly. There are plenty of resources out there. Saying I don't know how to cook or I don't know how to exercise is not a valid excuse, because before I started training, I didn't know how to train. Before I had learned how to cook, I didn't know how to cook. You have to learn to do something before you know how to do that thing. So if you don't know how to train or don't know how to cook, you have to educate yourself on those things. A few of the ways that you can educate yourself on how to train or how to cook, when it comes to training, one of the things that you could do is hire a professional. Now, if money is a legit obstacle in your way and you can't hire a professional, there are plenty of ways that you can overcome this. Another thing that you could do is watch videos on YouTube. If you watch videos on YouTube, such as my channel or somebody else's channel like Jordan's, you can get free information and you don't have to spend any money whatsoever. So if money really is a restraint on you and you don't have the education on how to write a program or how to lose weight because you don't know how to cook, well, watch some YouTube videos, find out how to train properly, find out how to cook healthy. There are plenty of ways that you can determine how to do all this stuff for free. Let's say you do have a little bit of money and you would like to invest it, but you're not sure where to invest it. Well, you can invest it into a fitness professional. Hire a personal trainer, hire a lifestyle coach, hire somebody to teach you the things that you need to know in order to get you to where you want to get to. If you aren't sure who the right person is to hire, there are plenty of other things you can do. You can also look around at who are the best fat loss coaches on the planet right now. Learn from them, take their courses, study under them, go to some of their seminars. If you don't know who the right people are in your area, just figure out who are the right people in general and learn from those people. And if you don't want to spend money on taking a course because it's too much for you, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars on these courses. You could buy a book. It's going to cost you $20 to $30 to buy a book. So you could buy a book on exercise science, you could buy different types of nutrition books, and it'll be very cheap. And once again, if you want to spend absolutely no money whatsoever because you are very limited in your funds, you can watch YouTube videos. Find out who are some really good YouTubers that are giving out really good advice on exercise, nutrition, lifestyle. Follow those people, watch their videos regularly because it's not going to cost you any money and you're going to learn some valuable information. Now, what is the third thing that Jordan did to lose weight?
All right, so number 3, and this is definitely something more tangible that you can stop doing because I know the first 2 were pretty behavioral. But for this, I stopped drinking calories.
So far, we're 3 for 3. This is another great piece of advice. And one of the things that I tell my clients all the time, you don't want to waste all of your calories on drinks. When it comes down to losing weight, it's going to come down to calories in versus calories out. If your main objective is health, don't overemphasize calories because there's more to good health than just calories in versus calories out. But for the purposes of losing weight, if you want to lose weight, you need to be in a caloric deficit because if you're not in a caloric deficit, you're not going to lose weight. How much of a deficit do you need to be in? It's going to be dependent on person to person, but you don't want to waste your calories on things like drinks. If you are somebody who drinks a lot of pop or a lot of alcohol or a lot of juices, just know that all of those things contain a lot of calories in them. And if you're not taking into account the amount of calories that are in those drinks, then you could be drastically over-consuming on the amount of calories that you need, and it can make you gain weight. Just as an example, let's say you are the type of person that really likes to have a can of Coke. Well, in one can of Coke, you are looking at 210 calories in that one can, and there's going to be 59 grams of sugar in that can of Coke. Even if you are drinking something that you perceive to be healthy, let's say that you want to have some orange juice and you think, oh great, I'm getting my vitamin C. Well, that orange juice, you may think that it is healthy, but it is loaded with just as much sugar as the can of Coke, and there's also a ton of calories in there. You're better off just eating an orange instead, as opposed to having the fruit juice. One of the reasons why it's going to be beneficial to actually eat the fruit as opposed to drink the juice is because when you consume the fruit, you are not just consuming the actual liquid. You are consuming all the fiber that comes along with that fruit. When you consume the juice, you're not getting any fiber. All you're getting is just sugar, and that sugar is going to give you a surge. It's going to create a release of dopamine. That dopamine is going to cause you to crave even more sugar. Whereas, if you are eating the actual fruit, that fruit is going to contain a lot of fiber in it. Fiber is going to keep you satiated, which means you're going to be fuller longer. Also, you're not going to be able to consume as much sugar or as many calories from the actual fruit because in order to drink a glass of orange juice, you can do it in a couple of seconds. If you wanted to consume the same amount of calories and sugars from actual oranges, you would have to consume a ton of oranges to actually get the amount of sugar and calories that are in that orange juice. So by avoiding sugary drinks, it's going to make it a lot easier to be in a calorie deficit, which is going to make it easier for you to lose weight. And another thing with regard to all of these different types of sugary drinks is you have to check the labels because the labels are incredibly misleading. Let's go back to the example of Coke. If you were to look at a can of Coke, on the back, it's going to give you the calories and the sugar content for an 8-ounce serving, even though a 355-gram can of Coke is a 12-ounce serving. Now, when you drink a can of Coke, do you drink 2/3 of it or do you drink the entire can? You most likely drink the entire can. So when you are looking at the back of the can at the nutrition facts, you have to look at the serving size because If the serving size tells you, oh, I'm only consuming 150 calories of this one drink, well, if that is for only 2/3 of the can, then whatever is actually in the bottle is going to be 50% more than what that serving size suggests. So if you are consuming something like Coke or something like orange juice, be sure to look at the nutrition label and make sure that you are matching the serving size so you know exactly how many calories you're getting and how much sugar you're getting. Now, let's say you are also going out and you are the type of person that likes to drink. Well, you should know that alcohol also contains calories. For every 1 gram of alcohol that you consume, that 1 gram is going to contain 7 calories. So if you are at the club or you are at a birthday party or you are hanging out with some friends and you want to have either a beer, some vodka, anything like that, just know that there are going to be a lot of calories in those drinks that you consume, especially if you are drinking a lot of really sugary alcoholic beverages, because you're getting calories from the actual alcohol, plus you're also going to be getting calories from the sugar that is going to be in there with the alcohol as well. So you really want to be diligent with looking at the nutrition labels if you do consume a lot of sugary drinks or just drinks in general, and you want to just be diligent with trying to avoid drinking most of your calories in those drinks. Ideally, what you want to stick to is water. Water is going to be the best thing that you can put into your body in terms of hydration, because water, it doesn't contain any calories, and also you need water for your body to function at an optimal level. If you're not consuming enough water, you're going to have issues with digestion, you're going to have issues with joint pain, so you want to make sure that you are consuming enough water. And water is going to be preferable over a lot of those drinks that contain a ton of calories. Now that we got that out of the way, what's the fourth thing that Jordan did to lose weight?
The fifth thing I stopped doing to finally lose weight was putting all of my effort on exercise.
This is something that I agree with 100%. However, there is one thing that I do disagree with that she said. In the video, she had mentioned that 80% of your weight loss journey is going to be nutrition and that it's not all about exercise. Yes, it's true that it's not all about exercise, but it's not 80% nutrition. I hear a lot of people throw this around, and I think I'll probably make a debunking video on this topic, but there is more to losing weight than just diet and nutrition. That is really only 50% of what is involved in losing weight. 25% of your weight loss journey is going to be exercise or movement. 25% is going to be your nutrition. The other 25% is going to be stress management, and the last 25% is going to be your sleep, rest, and your recovery. The reason why that's important is because nutrition and exercise gets harped on all the time, but stress management and rest and recovery is going to play a huge role in your weight loss journey. If you are constantly stressed out and if you are not getting enough sleep and you're not recovering, that is going to have a negative effect on your weight loss journey. And the thing that really sucks about this is every single person always harps on the nutrition and exercise part of thing, but nobody really talks about the stress and the sleep side of things. And those are the areas that a lot of people are lacking in. I know plenty of people that exercise well and eat healthy and they still don't lose weight, and it's because they're not getting enough sleep, they are stressed out all the time. And the thing with stress and sleep, if you are constantly stressed out, stress is going to elevate your cortisol levels. Cortisol is your stress hormone. When your cortisol levels are elevated, it is going to have a negative impact on your insulin levels and your testosterone levels. When cortisol is elevated, it's also going to elevate your insulin. And insulin, it is your fat storage hormone. So if insulin is elevated, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to store fat. And if cortisol is elevated, your testosterone levels will be lowered. And if your testosterone levels are going to be lowered, it's going to make it a lot more difficult to build muscle and a lot easier to build up fat. So if you want to lose weight, it's not good enough just to do diet and exercise. You have to make sure that your stress levels are under control and that you are sleeping the appropriate amount. One of the reasons why sleep is important is because sleep is a stressor on your body. You have more than just one stressor. People think of stress and they think of mental stress, but there's also physical stressors as well. And if you are not getting enough sleep, that is going to be a stress on your body, which is going to elevate your cortisol levels, which is going to make it a lot harder for you to build muscle and burn fat. Another thing with regard to sleep, if you are not sleeping well, then your levels of ghrelin, your ghrelin, if you remember from a few videos ago, ghrelin is your hunger hormone. Circulating levels of ghrelin are going to be elevated throughout your body. And if ghrelin is elevated, it is going to cause you to crave high-calorie dense foods, and it will also cause you to make poor choices throughout the day because ghrelin has been linked to poor decision making. So, if you don't get enough sleep, ghrelin is going to be elevated. That is going to cause you to make poor food choices in the beginning of the day. And if you make a poor food choice at breakfast, chances are you're going to make poor food choices throughout the rest of the day as well. So you want to make sure that you are exercising, you are following a healthy diet, and you also want to make sure that you are trying to minimize stress as much as possible, and that you are getting an adequate amount of sleep, and that you are recovering from your workouts as much as you possibly can. Now that we got those four, it's up to the last reason why Jordan lost weight. So what's the fifth thing that Jordan did to lose weight? I'll let her tell you.
The last thing I stopped doing, and I saved the best for last, this is my best advice of this video, and that is to stop stressing over the big picture.
Alright, looks like Jordan is 5 for 5 on this video because every single piece of advice that she has given so far has been spot on. When it comes to minimizing stress, this is something that I harp on all the time with my clients because, as I said before, everybody talks about nutrition and exercise. Nobody talks about stress and sleep when it comes to weight loss. And when it comes to stress, one of the important things worth noting is that from a physiological standpoint, your body is incapable of differentiating between different types of stressors. A lot of people, when they think of stress, they just think of mental stress. When I ask my clients about their stress levels, a lot of them say, oh, I'm really good, I don't really have stress in my life. Well, you may not have mental stress, but you might have nutritional stress, you might have thermal stress, you might have electromagnetic stress. There are many different types of stressors in your body, and physiologically, your body is incapable of differentiating between those different types of stressors. As far as your body is concerned, from a physiological standpoint, stress is stress. It doesn't matter if you are stressed out mentally because you have a deadline at work, or if you are stressed out from eating a bunch of crap food. Your body is going to interpret that the same way, and when you are stressed out, your body is going to circulate the hormone cortisol throughout your body. When cortisol is elevated, as we already stated, testosterone is going to be suppressed, which is going to make it harder to build muscle. And aside from making it difficult to build muscle, you're also going to increase your levels of insulin. And insulin is going to be key when it comes to fat storage because insulin is your fat storage hormone. So the more insulin you have circulating throughout the body, if you constantly have it throughout the day at elevated levels, that is going to wreak havoc on your system and it's going to make it very difficult for you to lose weight. So you want to try to manage all of the different stressors as best as you possibly can. When it comes to the different stressors, there are plenty of ways that you can mitigate them. Let's say you are somebody who is suffering from a lot of mental stress. Well, doing some diaphragmatic breathing or taking up a meditation practice would be a great way for you to minimize your stress levels. Let's say you don't want to meditate and you don't really know how to do diaphragmatic breathing. Well, another way that you could minimize mental stress is by taking up a hobby. If you are somebody who works a lot and you don't really have a lot of downtime, spend 1 hour every single day doing something that you enjoy. By spending 1 hour a day of doing something you enjoy, it will help to greatly reduce your cortisol levels because by doing something you enjoy, you won't be stressed out by that. You're going to be enjoying yourself. And when you enjoy yourself, you're not stressed. So by minimizing your stress levels, your cortisol levels are going to be lowered. By lowering your cortisol levels, you'll have an adequate amount of testosterone circulating throughout your system. You're not going to throw off your insulin levels. And if you can control cortisol, testosterone, and insulin, it will make it so much easier for you to build muscle and burn fat. The 5 tips that you gave were absolutely spot on. If you can incorporate these 5 different strategies, it will definitely pay off in your weight loss journey. But that pretty much covers it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button so I know to make more of these types of videos in the future. And if you're either new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell as I will be uploading new videos every single day. That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow.